Hello everybody, and welcome to a new reaction video. And today we're reacting to a band I've not heard of before called, now is it Cypecore or Cypecore? Not sure. We'll see. Anyway, as I've never heard of them before, I thought I'd do a little bit of research, and I came up with Cypecore are a German industrial death metal band from Mannheim, Germany, formed in 2007. So far they've released 4 studio albums, all of which are concept albums, based around a futuristic post-apocalyptic war set in a hypothetical 22nd century, and that's all I could find. So I'm interested to see where this goes. It's not often you see industrial death metal. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, it's just not very often you see it. So I'm intrigued to see where this is going. And set in a futuristic post-apocalyptic world sort of brings me to the thought of Nocturnus. They did a lot of their music based in the future, although theirs wasn't post-apocalyptic, so it'll be intriguing to see where this goes. Tried to look up about the song, didn't find much, and also, as I said in my research there, all of their albums have been concept albums, and that can sometimes make it hard to determine what a specific song is about, because, as I've said before, concept albums, generally the whole album tells one story and each track is like a specific chapter in said story, so it might not be very easy to discern what the actual track itself is about. But we'll see. I've got the lyrics up here, as I usually do. So did I say what the track was called? I don't think I did. The track that I'm going to listen to is called The Alliance. So I think that in itself might give me a little clue as to what the song might be about. Anyway, I'm very interested to see where this goes, so I think we'll just jump straight into it and see what happens. Shall we? I think so. Let's go. Interesting. I don't think I would have necessarily said they were death metal though. The vocal style itself doesn't really lend itself to death metal. It's very interesting though. They've sort of they've sort of merged the cyber goth aesthetic with, well, musically death metal. The vocal style I'm not so sure about. In fact, the vocal style actually reminds me more of Sepultura, strangely enough, in the way that in the way that he's singing, and the sort of almost the sound of his voice. It's not quite the same as Cavalera, but it's very similar. And I don't think you'd class Sepultura as death metal. In early days, sure, Sepultura death metal, but the more recent albums like Chaos ED and Roots and stuff were not. But anyway, very interesting. The video looks very well produced. It looks like almost sort of movie quality, but then that's the way of music videos these days, isn't it? It's a very interesting look. And from what I can tell, the song is about an alliance. Wonder how I came to that conclusion. It seems to be... Actually, it seems to have a very similar story to a track that I reacted to just recently by Meadow's End. It seems to be fighting back against a higher power and corrupt officials. That's what it seems to be about. I could be wrong, but because, like I said before, with this being a concept album, it's hard to actually get the whole meaning of a song if you don't know the rest of, if you don't know the story behind the rest of the album. Anyway, we'll carry on, see where this goes. So just me, or does the video seem to be a sort of strange mix between Tron and Mad Max? And I'm talking about the good Mad Max film, not that Fury Road piece of shit. Anyway, not here talking about that, are we? In fact, it's almost reminiscent of Borderlands, the video game Borderlands. Maybe a bit like that, yeah. Anyway, yeah, from what I can tell, it seems to be an uprising against the people holding all the power. Like I said before, most of the songs are based around a future post-apocalyptic sort of dystopian future. A future dystopian future? That's made no sense. Anyway, so as seems to be the way with the sort of dystopian post-apocalypse things, it always seems to be like the first person to like find a place tends to take control of it. So it's like they might not be suited to the power that they've attained for themselves, and they, more often than not, they tend to be sort of corrupted and you know, not very nice people. So this seems to be about you know, the people that these leaders have graciously let live in their society. You know, it seems to be like the people that have come in are sort of realising, you know, this guy isn't, you know, he's not good for us, he's selfish, he's corrupt, he's evil, and it seems to be about, you know, standing up to the higher powers that have, well, the self-appointed higher powers, as it were. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any bloody sense at all. I think I'm just talking absolute bollocks. But yeah, I'm curious to see any of their other stuff, because they are described as industrial death metal, but they just don't sound death metal to me. I mean, musically, sure, but vocally not at all. I mean, okay, death metal is mostly characterised by sort of the deep growls and guttural vocals, whereas this one isn't so much. It's I'm not sure how I would classify it, but I wouldn't really put it as death metal. It's still good though. I do like it. I will have to check out some more of their stuff. So yeah, let's carry on. Well, that was certainly interesting, and I'd like to throw a shout out to Veggie Metaler, who suggested this track for me. It was, you know, certainly very, very interesting. Rather unlike anything I've seen before. I haven't, you know, I've seen a couple of bands that might sort of almost be like that, or bands that have tried to make videos like that. But for the whole band to be sort of themed around it is quite interesting. And like I said before, I did like it. I thought the music was great. The song itself was really good, really enjoyable. I'm just not sure what genre it fits into, because, well, I mean, certainly industrial, I'll give it that. It's definitely got the aesthetic for an industrial. But I wouldn't say death metal. That might just be an outlier. That track itself, you know, the vocals and stuff might vary on other tracks. I'm guessing that my interpretation of the lyrics was pretty close. I can't be sure. I'll have to check out a full album, you know, to get a more rounded story. But other than that, I actually really enjoyed that. I definitely need to hear some more. Yes. Anyway, we'll leave that one as it is. If anybody would like to suggest any other tracks for me to check out, please do so by all means. Drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on Instagram, and I will. Well, I always try to reply, but sometimes I might not be able to, or I might get sidetracked before I do so. But rest assured, I do read every comment that comes my way. So, yeah. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.